Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. And before we get to our guest today, we have a big shout out for Living Sisu. Living Sisu is a platform and app that wants to give you all the tools to have success in your sport. Their main objective is to activate your lifestyle. So it's for active people. Enjoy discounts at companies like BioSteel, 30% off, Body Logics, the Goalie Guild, all his books are discounted. Roan, Lululemon for men, 20% off, online stretching programs with Eccentrics, 1 full month free. They got super silent massage guns, 20% off those. And it's a great quality. It's way less expensive than a Theragun, and it's great quality. So there's so many more discounts that you guys will need to just become a member to see. So they want to provide you with anything you need for success. So come join the community. I'm a part of it. A bunch of other athletes are a part of it. So it's free to join. It takes 20 seconds to get exclusive offers to your sport, and it's definitely worth it. So do us a huge favor and go sign up for Living Sisu's membership. It's free, 20 takes 20 seconds. So go do it, and we'll see you there. Living Sisu is a great company. We know one of the co-founders, Zach Fricali. He's a great guy. He's the co-founder. He does a lot of live streams on Instagram at Living Sisu, with a bunch of elite athletes, and you learn a lot from like the athletes' determination, their resiliency, everything to what made them become successful. So it's been a great experience so far. So go on. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. So go sign up. Yo, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and in today's episode, we have a very special guest. We have CJ Motte coming on the show. CJ is a current professional goalie playing in the Elite Ice Hockey League for the Coventry Blaze. He also spent seasons in the AHL and the ECHL, along with playing NCAA Division I hockey with Ferris State University before turning pro. He's also the founder of ElevateGoaltending, where he gives away secrets that made him such a successful goaltender so far in his career and help you elevate your game. Welcome to the show, CJ Motte.
Thanks for having me on here. Great to be on here. Really looking forward to our talk and diving in deeper to hockey, goaltending, and a little bit about me.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to that too. So to start off, like, how are you doing? Like, how's training been recently? Because like we're in COVID time, so like I'm sure that's a lot different than normal off season for you. So how's that going?
Yeah, it's good and going as well as it can, I'd say. It's tough. You can't really get in your normal routine. For the last 4 or 5 years, I kind of had a routine where my brother and I, got an apartment, worked out together, and skated with a group of pro guys. But this summer's been a little bit different. My brother was playing for Vancouver Canucks in the NHL playoffs, so he's been up doing that. So I've been kind of doing my own thing. Luckily, there's a couple other pro guys around that I'm able to skate with, and I got a trainer by me that luckily kind of has his own little shop in his garage area, so we're able to go over there and train a little bit.
Yeah, that's good. It's better than nothing. So it's good to get that training and have like guys that you can train with, especially during this time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it gets mentally tough sometimes training by yourself. It's tough to do that. So, it's luckily that I have a couple guys that, push me to get better, and hopefully I'm there to help push them too, and we get better as your little group.
Yeah, exactly. Like throughout quarantine, like I was working out by myself, but now that the gyms are opened up and I'm back at school and the gyms are open there, it's just getting a lot of people to help lift or lift with. It's always good to get that extra like push every now and then.
Absolutely. You can make yourself work out so much, but it's nice to have that team camaraderie or getting those group of people together to help, push each other, and, just makes it more fun, more enjoyable overall.
Yeah, exactly. So can you go give us a little background information on like your playing career, like why you started playing goalie, like when you started, and like the teams that you've been playing on recently?
Yeah, I started playing hockey. I was about 5 years old in Michigan. So around that time, everyone gets a turn playing goalie, and whenever it was my turn, for whatever reason, I just really enjoyed it. I loved it and wanted to stick with it. But kind of up until I was about 12 years old, I play a game in goalie, then I play a game as a forward, just because at that young age, it's really no good to have me sitting there on the bench just watching the game. So it was nice to kind of build up my skating abilities too, playing forward when I wasn't playing goalie. Grew up in the Port Huron area, played for the Port Huron Flags, double A team, up until I was 12 years old. Then we won the state championship that year, and the following year I got an opportunity to go down to play for Honeybaked, AAA. And that was a nice stepping stone for me to start pushing myself to really become a better goalie and play at a better competition. I played 3 years AAA with Honeybake organization, and then I got the opportunity to play juniors in the NAHL up in Traverse City. Really enjoyed it there. Had a pretty good year there, and then got the opportunity to play in the USHL and Waterloo Blackhawks for 2 seasons. Learned a lot there, enjoyed that as well, and then followed that to go on NCAA Division I at Ferris State for 4 years. Had a pretty good career there. Then went on to play pro. Next season will be my 6th year out of college playing pro for various ECHL, AHL, and a couple teams in Europe.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like it's so interesting to see like how like guys pick up playing goalie because you don't just throw on the gear and be like it's gonna be my job. Like it just somehow like comes to you and you just love it for some reason. So that's the same thing pretty much that happened to me. But I was a forward all throughout high school, and then my friend had a stick and puck was like, "You should try on the gear." So I did, and ever since then, I've never looked back, and it's been so much fun. So it's definitely interesting to hear all these stories, and it's and grow this the goalie community.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I was a catcher in baseball too. I don't know if I just liked all the equipment or what it was, but for some reason I just really like pucks or those baseballs just flying at me.
Yeah. So, was Honey Baked the time you realized that you were gonna be a very successful goaltender and that you could make a career out of hockey? Like, when did that like passion come to you, or did you like always know that you're gonna make a career out of hockey?
Well, I think growing up, it's every kid's dream to play pro hockey and play in the NHL. So I think from a young age, I kind of really wanted to do that, like everyone. But I think winning states with my double A team in Port Huron, then get the opportunity to play triple A. I think it's probably my second year triple A is where I really kind of buckled down and was like, hey, listen, like if you really want to make something out of yourself, there's a lot of good players out there. So you really got to start, putting in that extra work, at home, away from the rink, because, that's where major strides can be made when you're not at the rink. Practice will only get you so much better. But if you're putting the extra work away from the rink, in my basement, did a lot of speed stuff, hand-eye type stuff. And I think that's kind of when I really, I was probably 13, 14 years old that I really, buckled down. It's like, hey, if you really want to do this, let's do it right.
Yeah, just playing goalie like can only get you so far. You just got to put in the extra work like off ice, like you said, like the hand eye, the speed stuff, the training, the working out, like that that'll get you to the next level instead of just playing goal. Because recently I've been like getting really into the workout routine. Like I've been lifting every day since for like for like since quarantine. So it's like I would lift like 3-4 times a week before that, but like ever since quarantine I've worked out like every day because that's pretty much the only thing you can do. So it's definitely good to have like you gotta stand out somehow, and you just by like doing all the extra stuff, I feel that that's how you will stand out, I guess you could say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're that much faster than the goalie next to you at a tryout, or you look that much stronger in your pushes and more efficient, like it's going to make you stand out overall. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to stop the puck, but the faster you can get to different spots, the better chance you're going to give yourself to actually make more saves.
Yeah, exactly. So before we get to elevate goaltend, because I want to talk to you a little bit about that and like how successful that has made you as a goaltender and like all the tricks you give out. So you played in the Null in the USHL for Traverse City North Stars in the Null, and then the Waterloo Blackhawks in the U, like you said. Can you explain like what your thoughts were going into juniors and like what were some of your expectations while playing high level hockey?
Yeah, so my first year in the NHL, I wasn't really sure what to expect from that. I mean, yeah, you hear it's a good league, but I was so focused on myself in my own season in AAA. You never really get to go to a lot of junior games. You don't really get that experience as much as you hearing about it. But just going in there, and I wanted to play my game. I kind of went into most every season saying, "Hey, I'm here for a reason. Just go in there, get better every day. Yeah, still got to work hard, but just go in there and play your game. They brought you in here for that reason." So I was, probably a little nervous at first, didn't really know what to do. I was, 16, 17 years old as a junior in high school, going to Traverse City, first time living away from home. So just a lot of things thrown at me. But luckily, we had a really good group of guys that make me feel welcome right away there in Traverse City, made me feel comfortable. And even had a great goalie partner. He was a 20-year-old, 21-year-old. Brandon Stevenson was his name, and he made me feel right at home too. We battled for playing time throughout this season, but we were good friends and we got along, and he taught me a lot. And I had a really good season there in Traverse City. And then I was on the radar for the USHL draft after that. I knew that, and I actually got drafted by Sioux Falls, second round. I think it was 19th overall or something. So I went to their tryout the year before and thought I had a good chance to make it as undrafted player. And I was the last goalie cut. So when they drafted me, I knew they had interest for that year. Ended up going to tryouts and actually didn't make the team, ended up getting cut. So that was a different experience and a little mentally. Didn't know if I was good enough to make it in the USHL. And then I got a call from Waterloo asking me to come to their tryouts. They picked up my rights, and uh, had a good tryout, ended up making the team, and it's actually a really good stepping stone for me, a really good spot to be. The coaches there, PK O'Hanley and Shane Fukushima, have been there for quite a long time, but they really taught me in my 2 years there, and probably everyone, really how to be a pro, how to take the game seriously, how to uh, come to the game, come to the rink early, how to prepare, how to take stuff seriously, that just the really detail oriented stuff that, in AAA, yeah, coaches talk about, but they don't quite demand it from you. Like they demanded from me and my teams in Waterloo. So I think just as a development overall was a really good step for anyone trying to play, Division I college hockey, the NAHL or the USHL. I know a lot of good players come from both leagues, and you can just, learn so much on how to approach the game and just really be a pro.
Yeah, so like you said earlier, you got cut from the camp. So like, what was your mindset? Because like all like goalies are gonna get cut. So like, what was your mindset? Like, were you down on yourself? Like, what was that like mindset like? And like, how do you like overcome it for the next camp before you finally made the team?
Well, I mean, like I've been cut from quite a few teams, and I still made it to where I am today. I got cut from AAA teams. I went to other junior camps, got cut before I even made it to Traverse City. Like I said, I got drafted. Even you get drafted, you're not guaranteed a spot on the team. Just like for me, like I got second round. Thought I had pretty good chance. Maybe almost took it like I was on the team too much mentally. Like you're not on the team till you're on that final list for everyone out there. It doesn't matter if you're a returning guy or not. There's other players that want your spot. And I've been cut from pro teams. Like this past year, I started in Innsbruck in the Austrian league, and it didn't work out there for a few reasons, and ended up going to the UK league. But yeah, if you get cut, there's definitely a low right after it. You feel like, hey, well, what I do wrong? I wasn't good enough. I put all this hard work in. But you got to take a step back after that and be like, use that as motivation. Yeah, I didn't make the team. Maybe I wasn't the best goalie there. Maybe I was, but I didn't show it. I mean, you got to go out there and you got to be in like a dominate mindset for any tryout and be like, hey, leave coaches no doubt that I'm the best goalie out there. So, and if when you do end up getting cut or not making a team for whatever reason, use that as motivation to find a different spot to play, and then just work your butt off to get even better. So the next year, there's no doubt that you're making that team.
Yeah, exactly. You got cut, and then you made the team later on, and then you played NCAA Division I hockey for Ferris State for 4 years. So like, what went into like picking like Ferris State to be your home, and like, what was your overall college hockey experience like?
Yeah, so Fair State had interest in me since I was in Traverse City. So they talked to me a little bit and showed interest. So I knew they had interest in me, and I didn't really know if it'd be the best fit for me at the time or not. So just kind of went on playing, trying to see, well, maybe other opportunities were out there. And just my second year in Waterloo, I looked at their roster because they started looking at me and talking to me a little bit more seriously. And they had a senior goalie that year before me, and then a junior goalie. So I knew if I went into Ferris State, I'd be the older goalie for at least 3 years. And you just want a chance to play as a goalie. I don't want to sit there for too much, even though I wouldn't back away from a challenge, but kind of knowing you might have a good chance to play a lot of hockey is always a plus. So just kind of seeing that situation, and they had some good teams. They had been doing pretty well before I got there. Just kind of made the decision a little bit easier to attend there. And it was a good decision for me. I played, half my freshman year, kind of split 12 games, I think it was, and we ended up going to the NCAA finals that year, and then played almost every game the next 3 years, I think. So, in college hockey, you don't play overly amount of games. You play about 40, 45 or so a year. And now I was probably averaging 42 or so. So I almost played every game. And just that experience of being able to practice, 3, 4 days a week and really, get better on the ice, and then, show it on the weekends for 2 games. Just kind of helped me develop as a goalie um, overall, and just kind of hone in some skills and just kind of learn the game better.
Yeah, so you played a ton of games throughout your junior and college career and going into the pros as well. So like how big like you said that was big for your development, but like can you go a little more in depth like what you got out of like playing so many games and like how you were able to use that as as a stepping way to get better and better each time you step on the ice?
Yeah, so I mean, the more games you're playing, the harder it's on your body. So you got to learn how to take care of it. And I think that's one thing that I learned in Waterloo and probably first year at Ferris State is you really got to take care of your body after games, especially you got to stretch, you got to roll out because a lot of the times you're playing the next night too. So you really got to do the right things to take care of your body. Um, just overall as development, just playing that much is a lot of conditioning. So you got to make sure you're in shape. If you're not in shape to start the season, you're behind the curve of everyone else in the league. So you got to make sure you're ahead of that curve. You're ready to go right away. And then the last thing I say, I really learned mentally to be mentally strong, because yeah, as a goalie, you want to be consistent. You want to go out there and bring your A game every single night. And the more you can do that, the better goalie you're going to be, the more consistent you're going to be, and the more coaches and scouts are going to see that, because you got to be consistent if you want to play at a junior college pro level. But you're going to have those nights that pucks get bounced, bad bounces go in. You're going to give up some soft goals at times, and you're just going to have to take a deep breath, relax, and say, hey, listen, I messed up, or hey, that wasn't my best game. And you got to figure out a way to bring it tomorrow, because you know after that game's over, it's in the past. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that next game. So mentally, it's just a big thing playing so many games to take a deep breath once in a while, and get yourself in check that, hey, I'm not perfect, no one's perfect, and just play your game.
Yeah, so going off the like bad bounces, like when you don't have a good game, like or you give up a bad goal, like do you have, I know some guys have like trigger words or stuff like that, or like things they do when they give up a goal. Like, do you do that? And like, do you have like any trigger words that you use, or what do you do after you give up a bad goal? And like, especially like that mindset, because the mind could wander, and you don't want that as a goalie, obviously. It's like, how do you like keep your mind in check?
Yeah, so if I give a goal, that either had a bad bounce I had no chance on, or maybe one that just definitely should have saved, and just for whatever reason I didn't. I usually just try to take a deep breath, relax, and just I tell myself, battle, compete, and play your game. Those are kind of my 3 words, because that just helped me over the year, just really be focused and kind of just play your game. Kind of just stuck with me, because I got a spot on a team for that reason, because I can play my game. And then I really just focus on the next puck. I kind of approach the same way as an unbelievable save to as a bad goal is save the next puck, because the last one doesn't really matter. You already made the save, or you already won. Doesn't matter. It's all about the next puck.
Yeah, you just got your job's just stop the puck, so you just gotta remain focused and on the on the goal. make the next save.
Yeah, exactly. And especially after a bad goal, if you just make that next save, really try to focus in even harder, make that next save and know your team, let your team know like, hey, listen, like, yeah, that was my fault, but you know what? I got us going forward. Like what's win this game.
Yeah, exactly. That will definitely rally the boys and bring the boys around you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so your senior year of playing at Ferris State, you were named captain of the team. So like, can you explain like how important your leadership role was on and off the ice, and like how it made you like a better person overall, and like what that leadership role brought to you and your team?
Yeah. So, during games and stuff, I'm more of a focused guy. I kind of keep to myself more in the locker room, but I definitely wasn't afraid to, put ourselves in check. There was something that needs to be said. I wasn't afraid to say something like, "Hey guys, that wasn't our best period. We're tied or we're down by one. We're lucky to be in that spot. Let's put it together. Let's get back on our game and let's win this one." Something like that. That I think some of the teammates at Ferris kind of respected, and I think they also voted me captain just because of my consistency throughout my tenure there. Just showing up every game and playing my game every night. They kind of knew I'd be a backstop for them back there, and they knew what they knew what they would get from me. So I think just between that consistency and the fact that I wasn't afraid to really um, say something in the locker room were the factors that kind of got me voted captain. And that being said, like to any goalies out there, listening right now, especially like you don't need a letter on your jersey to be a leader. You know, you can be a leader without a letter, or I guess any player, you can be a leader without a letter. There's something to be said if things aren't going the right way. Just stand up and get your teammates back in check in the right way. You don't need to yell at them or anything like that. That's kind of coach's job to maybe yell at guys at certain times, but collectively as a group, if you can just get up, hey guys, that wasn't our best period, let's figure it out. We'll come back and we'll win this one. Let's get it going, and that kind of stuff can really spark a team. And whether you're a goalie, player, letter, no letter, like as you move up in hockey, there's a lot of little things that can help you get on a team, and you got a little bit extra character in you. That's going to go over um, a kid maybe have a little more skill or a little more talent, but if you got a little extra character, coaches respect that more.
Yeah, I feel like all goalies are a leader in some way or another, but you don't usually see a goalie with the actual C on their jersey, so that's pretty cool. But like going back to what you said about like being a leader, like you could lead by example, you could be vocal, like you just do anything you can to just help your team know that you got their back, and just lead. If you lead by example, play consistent like you said, and then just leadership as a whole makes your team and yourself a whole a lot better of a person as well. So it's always good to have that leadership aspect in you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, anyone can be a leader. You don't have to have that letter on your jersey to be a leader. If you can just lead by example, like you said, is a lot of the best way anyone can really do. If you're doing every drill with detail, you're playing the game with detail, that's the way to lead. And for some people that are a little more vocal, that can get the boys going in the right direction at certain times when it's maybe not going their way. Just say that one thing. You never know, it might really start a spark and come back and win a game.
Yeah, exactly. So then after your college career came to an end, you began your pro career playing 4 games for the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, the AHL. So like, what was the process of signing that professional deal and getting starts right off the back in Bridgeport?
Yeah, so it was, I don't know, 4 or 5 days probably after my college career was done. That I was actually signed in Toledo in the with the Walleye because they had a good team and had a chance to have a good playoff run there. And I was actually driving down in my car halfway to Toledo from Ferris State, which is, I don't know, 5-6 hour drive. And I get a call from my agent and said, "Hey, Bridgeport wants to give you opportunity up there. Do you want to take it? I know you're on the way to Toledo." And I was kind of like, "Well, heck yeah! I mean, it's an AHL opportunity. That's kind of what I wanted out of college. It's all anyone can ask for." So then I ended up, flying out there, playing 4 games. Got a win in my first AHL game, which was really exciting, a little relief. And actually in that game, I still remember it today that we had a scrum in my glove side corner and my left side, and you know, they had a guy break the puck out from that corner, just clear as day, and pass to the guy wide open in the slot. And I had a good push over, and the guy shot a glove, and I made a good glove save as my first American League save. And I think that just kind of helped spark the confidence in me that, hey, yeah, the players are better here, but it's still hockey. At the end of the day, you worked so hard. You played so well throughout juniors and college. Like, it's just hockey. Just like go back to just play your game. That's what I keep telling myself, and end up getting to win that game, and enjoyed it.
What a save to make your first stop in the AHL. That's unreal. And then
Yeah,
like what were your emotions like that throughout that game? Because like it was your first pro game and like you got your first pro win, so that's pretty cool. So like what was your emotions throughout that entire game?
yeah. Just I went through my normal routine before the game, so I'm a big routines guy. I think that helps build confidence. If you have a routine that works for you and you play well after, stick with that. Because once I went through my normal routine, I'm like, hey, it's just another game. I'm getting warmed up the same way. I'm gonna go out there on the ice and warm ups and get warmed up like I usually do as well. So just started the puck. Yeah, definitely a little more nerves, a little more excitement. Little bigger crowd, different type of hockey. Not really knowing the team as well, the systems as well. Was a little bit of a challenge because playing at Ferris State for 4 years, I kind of knew where everyone was going to be or supposed to be. Going to a new system for in front of me was a little bit different. But at the end of the day, I just kind of took a deep breath before the puck dropped and kind of relaxed myself and just said, hey, just play your game.
Yeah, so going into like that like system routine way, let's segue into that like for a little bit. Like how important is it to you to have like a system or a routine and just stick with that every single game and like how that builds confidence?
Yeah, so I've had the majority of the same routine for the last, I don't know, 20 years, probably since the NAHL. It's probably really when I started. That's probably 12 years ago. And, I kind of just start to, get a nap in, and then I kind of visualize, making saves right after my nap. And I think just if you get the whatever routine works for you, it's going to be different for everyone. But just having a routine that you go through just kind of gets you ready for the game a little mentally more ready for each game. And then if you're a little more mentally ready, then when you do your actual dynamic type warm-ups, then you're even a little more mentally and then dynamically warmed up, and you're just ready to go into the game, ready to go rolling from the puck drop. It's if I'll found myself if I don't do my routines or for whatever reason I'm feeling off, and then stick to my routine, kind of gets me back on track.
Yeah, so going into like pregame naps, like some people it's like hit or miss with pregame naps. Like some people like it, some people don't. So like going into like a pregame nap, like how long do you think you should be taking a nap for? Like, because I've heard like hour 30 or hour 45, 2 hours. Like what do you think is like the best possible nap you can get?
I don't really like putting a time frame on it. Um, you know, I give myself about 2 hours to kind of nap if I want to. But I'll lay down, and sometimes I'll nap for the full 2 hours, depending on what part of the season it is. If I'm pretty tired, if it's a back-to-back game, and then other times I'll kind of lay there and just kind of nap for half hour, 45 minutes, and then kind of wake up from there. So I don't like putting a time frame on it. I just have like that 2 hour gap in my daily game routine that I put aside for a nap. I wouldn't say over 2 hours is definitely probably too much. I'm probably usually around that hour and a half type nap time.
Yeah, that's reasonable. And like I've been taking like pregame naps recently, and it's usually like an hour 30, hour 45, sometimes 2 hours. So just right around there, and it definitely does help a lot. And like helps you like refocus and get your mind mentally ready for the game and physically.
Yeah, it just gets your body a little bit rested, build the energy level up a little bit, get your mind a little rest when you're napping, and then once you wake up, you can start getting focused for the game. And like I said, I always like visualize. As soon as I wake up, visualize and making some routine saves and some more highlight reel saves, just get my mind thinking about saving pucks.
Yeah, so throughout your pro career so far, you've played in a ton of seasons in the Coast and the American League, most notably with the Quad City Mallards in the Coast, and then Chicago and Iowa in the AHL. Before you headed overseas the past two seasons, like, what do you think has made you such a successful goaltender in the pros, no matter where you go? Because you've been successful pretty much everywhere you've gone. It's like what is like that turning point that's made you so successful?
Yeah, for me, I mean, just mentally going into the games, just knowing, hey, just battle, compete, and play my game. 'Cause those are kind of things I can control. Can't always control everything else, but I can control my battle, my compete level, and then just sticking and playing to my game, not trying to play outside of that. So I think mentally, just approaching the game the right way has helped me just build confidence on the ice. And then as far as stuff on the ice, I think just really skating to pucks, skating to areas, I think really helps you have a lot, or helps me have a lot more save options. Um, Once in a while, I find myself sliding too often, and then we're kind of at the mercy of our slides. If we skate to areas, that just gives us a better chance to save pucks, and then just really rebound control. I mean, guys at pro levels, if they see a puck around the net, they're pretty good at putting it in. So you can give them less second, third opportunities, you're going to give yourself a lot better, um, better chance to not have to make those second, third saves if control the rebound, and it makes life easier on you too if you can just put the puck in the netting, deflect it up there, or just cover it from the first shot. Your defensemen like you; they play harder for you because they're like, hey, he's not going to give a rebound. Then the off chance there is one, they battled to really whack it away.
Yeah, so you've had some pretty incredible numbers all throughout your career, especially this past season in Coventry. Led the IHL in best saves with .927. You got EIHL Player of the Week. You're on the EIHL All-Star team. So, like, what was like your first year in Coventry like? 'Cause especially since this is like a weirder season. It's like, what was your overall take of playing in the UK?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. They have quite a few North American imports in the league, so it's a pretty similar style game to the U.S. But on the Olympic ice, where most of the arenas there are Olympic ice, so it's a little more fluid as well. So it's kind of a mix. It's interesting to kind of talk about because coaches are North American guys and they want guys going hard and playing bodies, but on the Olympic ice, I mean, there's so much more room to have some skill out there. So guys are really flying around there trying to make little extra moves. But overall, I really enjoyed the experience. The league was a great competitive league. There wasn't a night off. I mean, any team could beat anyone, and just coming into that situation it is great because as a hockey player, you want to compete, you want to battle out there, and going to competitive league like that is awesome. And um, our coach had to put a good team together, and we just gelled from day one.
Yeah, so then COVID hit. So like what was like everything that was happening like around like COVID when like everything was like thinking about the league was thinking about suspending it, and then like what were the events that led up to like canceling the season and all that?
I canceled the season with about 5 games left in the regular season before playoffs, and our team we were in like a 17 game point streak. I think it was. We were only 3 points out of first place, and we actually had a home game against Fife, I believe it was. They were the last place team in the league, so we had a good chance to win that game and bump up to second place and 1 point behind um, first place team, in which we played the following Wednesday. So it would have been a game for first place. So we were rolling as a team. We had a good chance to have a good push there to the end to win the regular season. And I think it's just a little disappointing. You only have so many seasons where you can really compete for championships, right? And
Yeah.
because you like to think you win a championship every year. That's the mindset, absolutely. But as the season goes on, some are more realistic to actually win than others, and this was one that we really had a chance, to win the regular season and then even playoffs as well. So just the cancellation of the season was a little disappointing. I think as a team we kind of were confident we were going to pull through and win the whole thing. But um, personally, yeah, I had a great season there. We had a lot of good defensemen in front of me blocking shots and keeping the outside. As a goalie, that's your best friend, and you can have defensemen that keep a lot of stuff to the wide angles and makes your life a little easier. So, and I can't take all the credit there, but yeah, had a great season, and wish we could have finished it out to really see how it would have played out.
Yeah, that time was crazy because like everything from like the NBA, NHL, AHL, ECHL all the way down canceled, and like we're like within like 3-4 months with no sports at all. So that was a very weird time. And so what between those times, like what do you do to make yourself better, or did you just take that time to just rest and recover?
Yeah, so I took about a month, maybe a month and a half off, which is a little bit more than I usually would. But just with everything going on, and when I got back home to Michigan, the rinks and the gyms were closed, so I couldn't really do anything that I wanted to do for the most part, anyways. And then, once I was like, hey, listen, I've been on the couch for a month and a half. I got to start getting myself back. Like the season is probably going to be pushed back quite a bit, but you never know. You want to be ready to go whenever you get that call. So then I, just started training, doing some speed type stuff in my basement, some body weight type stuff. Had a weight vest at home, and my dad he's a gym teacher at the local school, so he was able to get just a couple of dumbbell weights. So I had a few things to kind of work out with, but not nearly all the equipment I wanted to. Just like I'm sure a lot of people listening right now don't have all this stuff they want to, but there's still so much stuff you can do to get better. Like if you don't have the weights like I did, and I did a lot of foot speed on my foot speed ladder. You can do a lot of hand-eye stuff. You need a ball, and maybe that's it, or maybe a ball on a wall. You can throw it against it for hours and do different things to get your hand-eye speed better. And that's how I kind of approached it as, listen, like there might be some goalies out there doing some stuff, but I'm sure there's a lot of goalies out there kind of taking this time off. And I want to get ahead of that curve, like I talked about earlier, and just push myself to get better every day.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to find a way no matter what. Like you did body weight stuff, like anyone can do body weight stuff. So you just got to find a way to make yourself better and help yourself improve your skills.
Exactly. And the internet this day is amazing. So if you're bored and sitting on that couch and just need a kickstart of something to do, you can go on the internet and just type it in. I guess I put, I don't know, 6 or 7 workout videos or hand eye videos on YouTube at Elevate Goaltending on YouTube. Haven't done too many lately, but I got 6 or 7. So there's one place to start. You can look at mine, but don't be shy. There's plenty of them out there that you can just YouTube or Google, and you'll be able to find something body weight that's going to help you be a better goalie.
Yeah, so let's get into Elevate goaltending for a little bit here. So like what made you like create Elevate goaltending? Like what was like progression from like when you started to like where it is now?
Yeah, so probably 2 summers ago, I know I want to, when I'm done playing, I want to get into coaching. That's kind of my goal. I don't haven't decided whether I want to be more of a goalie coach full time, or kind of start behind the bench. That's still yet to be seen. But I wanted to help a lot of young goalies in my area. So I figured a good way to do that is to start a goalie camp. So 2 summers, I got it was a little too late in the summer to advertise and get goalies there. I did some private stuff in some small groups that summer, but this summer was going to be the real summer. I was going to try to get camps going to help them. And then this summer they all got canceled due to COVID, and all the rinks closed in Michigan, which was unfortunate. And then I had the Instagram there for a year or so, but I didn't quite utilize it as much as I should have. And just the last 3 or 4 months, I said, hey, listen, I got some time on my hands because I can't be at the rink as much as I want to. I'm sure there's a lot of goalies out there that are in the same boat I am. So if I can kind of share some of my knowledge through my Instagram, whether it's sometimes I share technical skills about goaltending, sometimes it's mental stuff, sometimes it's just motivation type stuff, or some stuff. Sometimes it's just stuff that I realize now, how coaches or scouts or might think. So just trying share that information. So as any young goaltender or anyone who wants to be a pro goaltender at the end of the day, might kind of see the big picture and how much work they actually have to put into to actually make it, because there's a lot of good goalies out there, that want to, be in the NHL, right? There's what 30, there's 62 NHL jobs. Like that's not many. So you got to be one of 62 in the entire world to get that job. And that really, once you start thinking in that kind of aspects, that puts in perspective how hard you got to work and how many goalies out there you're actually competing against.
Yeah, I especially like the Instagram posts you've been putting out recently, especially like all the motivation stuff, the technical stuff, especially like the routine stuff you're doing right now, and it just makes it a bigger picture and like tells you like gives you like an inside look of what a professional goalie does and just how he's getting better each and every day, no matter what, and just like to see like the different stuff he does like on game day on game days, like it's just very interesting to see that, and like it helps like build that picture of like how to become that elite level goaltender.
Yeah, I it's on my Instagram at Elevate Goaltending. There's a the in front of it. um, and yeah, I went through my pregame routine at home that included like my nap and kind of like the snacks I do, the visualization type stuff, that I do, and kind of walks you through what I do before I go to the rink, and then actually right now is kind of in the probably halfway through the process of what I'm at the rink, kind of what I do when I get there, from checking my equipment to make sure everything's going well there, to the hand-eye stuff, to some dynamic warm-ups and that kind of stuff that I do. And like I said, I'm a big routine guy, and I think that helps build confidence. So if I can share what I do, and it might help some goalies out there put one or two pieces of what I do into their routine, and it helps them become more consistent, more confident at the end of the day. That's my goal for it.
Yeah, that's awesome what you're doing for everyone in the goaltending community. So like in your opinion, like what separates like a good goalie from like a great or elite goalie?
Yeah, so I mean, I would say there's a lot of good goalies out there, that are at whatever level they are, double A, triple A, juniors, whatever level it may be. There's a lot of them. To really separate yourself, it's mentally, I would say, and your mental attitude kind of encompasses it all. When I say that, I mean like on the ice, if you go, like, every goalie goes 100% during the games. There's not one goalie that doesn't. But if that same goalie is only going 70% during practice, then you're probably a good goalie. If you're starting to go 85, 90%, then you're probably getting towards the great area. But if you're going 100% in practice and 100% in games, that's where you're going to start to really beat or start create those elite level skills. Because if you practice at 100%, you're gonna become even faster. You're gonna save more pucks. You're gonna control more rebounds. You're just gonna understand the game as a whole better. And I think that kind of what I learned probably my second year at Honey Baked AAA. Um, I kind of learned that because there was about the first half of the year I was having a pretty good season to start, but the first half of the year I was just kind of like showing up to practice and just kind of being there to be there. And then I had a little lull in the middle of the season, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, I got to get back on track. And then I kind of took a step back and, okay, what was I doing last year to this year? What's the difference? And it was kind of my practices, and I wasn't going quite 100%. And it showed on the ice. If as an elite goalie, you got to look at any opportunity you can to get better, and you got to take it, whether that be at practice, whether that be at home, whether that be showing up early to the rink and doing some conditioning, some stretching, whatever that may be. That's the difference between being a good goalie and an elite goalie, in my mind. Is you approach the game, you try to get better every day, and you take any little time to get better, and that includes at home. If you're watching TV, and you might as well get a stretch in while you're watching TV instead of just sitting there. You can loosen yourself up to help prevent injuries. Um, so that's what I would say is really what separates good to great to elite.
Yeah, I really love that, and like practice is like where you make like the most improvement, especially when you're going 100%. Like I've been like I used to take like practice and just chill with it, like you said, but then ever since like quarantine, like you go 100% every time you get on the ice, no matter practice, game, scrimmage, whatever. And like especially with today, like I was telling you earlier about like not giving up a goal and on my skate today. So like I've definitely seen a lot of improvement with that, and like that's just because like I'm going 100% each and every day I skate, and it really does make a difference, especially even if it's just practice, does make a difference, and it does make you a better goaltender overall.
Yeah, if you're in practice and you control every rebound to the corner, the netting, or even better, you can just cover it. You're going to get those good habits, and in game, it's going to become secondhand. Same thing as like I talked about sliding a little bit earlier. You're just sliding everywhere over the ice. You're out of control, and you can't really control rebounds, and you're just hoping the puck hits you. You can beat the pass on your feet. That's really when you're going to start being an elite goaltender as well, because anyone can just slide across the crease and make a save. When elite goalie is going to skate across the crease, make the save, and control that rebound, so there's no second opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. And just during practice, like following your rebounds, like every time, is also a huge important part of that. And I know you posted that on your Instagram as well. So like I've definitely noticed that like doing that in practice has definitely like made it like a lot easier of a transition during the game, and just following the puck wherever it is.
Yeah, that's when I'm a goalie coach, when I'm coaching on the ice there, those are the two things I preach all the time is cover every rebound around you, because if you can cover it, there's not a second chance, and in a game it's second nature. It just comes natural. And then follow your rebounds, because follow rebounds does a couple things. If you make the save, it goes in the corner and you follow it right away. You get there early enough, you can kind of scan the ice and see where their players are, see where their sticks are, where they might pass the pucks. So now you're starting to read the game even better. You can read the game and know where the puck's probably going to go before it gets there. You're one step ahead of the other team. If you don't follow your rebound, or you're just kind of getting there late or on time as soon as their guy gets the puck, that's when you're going to start being behind the play, and then you start guessing and maybe just sliding, and then that's when you might make a save or two, but you might be giving up 2 or 3 rebounds every shot. And you know as a goalie, I want to make my life easier. So if I can, save the first one and cover it, no second rebound, better. If you're a goalie that wants to make 3 or 4 saves and try to pad your stats, I think over the course of a season, I think that's going to go in the wrong direction for you.
Yeah, you just want to keep it simple and easy, as easy as possible as you can. And just make that first save and cover it up, and not give up any rebounds, and having to face more than one shot a rush.
That would be ideal. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So CJ, I have a few more questions for you. So if you had to redo like any one thing in your goaltending career so far, what would it be if you have any?
Yeah. Like I said, I wish we'll go back to practice. I wish I started going 100, 110% in practice earlier. I think once I started doing that, I saw a huge difference in my game, both in practice, and then it translates to 100% on the ice. When I started going 100% in practice, covering every puck in games, is like pucks just started sticking to me, and there wasn't many rebounds. When I started following those pucks in practice, I started reading the game better. Like I talked about just before, I could read the game better. I knew where the pass was probably going, and for a lot of young goalies out there, or any goalies in general, if you don't know if the player in front's a left-handed or a right-handed shot, those are two different pushes. So getting that quick glance to see what hand they are is huge. And that kind of stuff I just started working in practice, and then push myself in practice to go even faster, and just help my conditioning and built my leg strength, my speed up, and just help me be a better, more well-rounded goalie, I think. So I think, if I could have went on 110%, a little bit earlier in my career, I think, maybe would have made the transition to AAA maybe a little bit sooner than I did. Um,
Yeah, that's a great thing you just said there, and like it's a tip too. Like go 100% at practice no matter what. So that's a nice little tip there
uh,
too
can I
for all the goalies. Yeah,
can I add one thing there? So that
yeah.
being
Go ahead.
said, I this I've had this happened to me over my career in almost everywhere I played. But go at 100%. When I say that, I mean like in the drills that are realistic. For sure. I'm not talking about, there's flow drills coming down. You're getting 4 shots in 2 seconds and trying to make every save 100%. No, in those situations where there's no way you can really control, 4 or 5 pucks in a row, the coach is having practice go too fast. I suggest, focus on one puck, make the save. If you can't make to the second one, big deal, kind of go over there, make a stand up save or whatever, but then really focus on the next one. So kind of focus on every other puck there. So try to make it, as realistic as possible too. Obviously practices aren't designed for goaltenders too often. If you have a coach that is doing it for your goalies and making everything realistic, then definitely go and thank him for doing that, because there's met plenty of times that coaches aren't doing that. But yeah, every realistic drill, 100%, every puck, follow it, cover everything. On the flow drills, you're getting 15 shots in a minute. Really focus on every other shot, or every third shot if it's way too fast. That way, you're still getting good habits in there.
Yeah, absolutely. So my final question for you is, what has been like your favorite city you've played in?
My favorite city, I would probably say, I don't know. I've enjoyed my time overall in almost every city. Every city pretty much has something to offer, but just my time in Innsbruck in Austria, just the mountains there are beautiful. There's always something to do. We had a group of guys, 4 or 5 guys from the team. We go on some hikes after practice, and just do some cool things like that. And just the waking up to see the mountains every day was just a beautiful sight that I just really enjoyed. A little bit different culture as well. Um, they spoke German, everyone did, but most of the young kids spoke English as well, so that was nice. But just as a country, it was beautiful, and really enjoyed living there.
Yeah, that's unreal, especially with the mountain views I imagine you get. It's just so nice and beautiful there.
Yeah, and they had some world class skiing there. I got to do that one time, but didn't really get to do that too much. Didn't want to get injured or anything like that. But yeah, it's just beautiful country, and I would go back there just on a vacation, because there was just so much to do. And like I said, hiking and that kind of stuff in the summer, and there was skiing and ski resorts and stuff there in the wintertime. So just really always stuff to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, CJ, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to following your career, wherever, whenever the next season starts. So, I'll definitely be watching what you do and how you're doing.
Awesome, thanks for having me. Really enjoyed it, and hope to be back on sometime in the future.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely, definitely. So, thank you once again, and have a nice rest of your day.